Hey, Sterling Cousins. You already know what time it is. Animated horror stories. Animated horror stories. Ding, ding, ding. Ding, ding, ding. Bing, 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 bing. Let's get up into it. Y'all already see where we at. Mr. Creepy House. You know, what are we doing? A mix, another mix because this is a 2 hour video and we're breaking it up. I'm thinking I'll do two breaks and then an hour. So I'll do this one 30 minutes, the next one probably another 30 minutes, and then the rest I'll just suck it up and do the hour. All right. So let's get up into it. Please go to Mr. Creepy's channel and subscribe. Please do me a favor and just like the video. We could comment and chat throw in the comments, obviously, but please just like the video. That's all I ask. So let's get up into it. As I said, it is a mix. It says horror stories that will make your skin crawl. And you know, that's up my alley. I like some creepy shit. So let's get up in here and let's get started. Please grab a blunt, grab a bottle of water, grab a bag of chips, and grab a blanket. All right, just in case you want to be snug. Yeah. Disclaimer: the following stories are inspired loosely based on true events. All characters and events taking place in this video are fictional. In reality, no one was hurt mentally or physically. And then underneath it says this shit is for adults only. If you are under the age of 18, get your ass up off of here. Twitter.
Since that happened, I don't want to go on Twitter anymore because every time I do, the haunting memories come.
I am so sorry. We just hearing everything.
That's better?
Flooding back.
Better to me. What the hell was that? What happened?
Since that happened, I don't want to go on Twitter anymore because every time I do, the haunting memories come flooding back. That incident occurred about 2 weeks ago.
What happened on Twitter?
I was following a makeup artist on Twitter at Deadly Princess, and every horror cosplaying picture she posted impressed me. I would describe her artwork with only one word: unique. Her makeup sketches that imitated a significant wound or an empty eye socket were very realistic. Especially when disguised as a zombie, the gouges, peeling skin, and sores on the face were all magnificent, tortured, and beautiful. Sometimes I got goosebumps when I watched them.
Jesus!
I'm like, damn. We damn near watched all of these.
Never in my life had I thought that we could afford a house on our own.
Okay.
And now, Molly and I finally made it. Recommended by Calvin, the real estate agent, we agreed to visit a new house in the suburbs.
Don't look
On the way to the house, I felt so tired and sleepy.
Don't worry, I'll wake you up when we get there.
Molly said as she was driving.
Babe, we're here.
Molly shook me awake. We were in the middle of the Dreamland area with houses all identical to one another. Wow! I was a bit surprised by the identical structure of the houses. Calvin also came. He quickly parked his car, and he looked even more excited than we were. Welcome to Dreamland, house number 13. While giving us a tour through the new home, Calvin kept talking about how ideal this home would be.
This house is forever.
Meanwhile, Molly excitedly took some pictures.
No photographs, please.
Oh, sorry.
Molly put the phone into her pocket.
All right, let's move on to the next.
The sudden change in his attitude made us feel uncomfortable. Then we went out to the garden, of which the lawn was so odd and strange. Suddenly, a tree branch fell to the ground near where we stood. but the branch was made of plastic? That was when we discovered that the plants here were all fake. Even the soil was artificial clay. No wonder why this place was much cheaper than General, but this garden was unacceptable. We were about to ask Calvin about the trees, but he was no longer there.
He's in the other house, or something.
Molly picked up the phone and dialed his number, but there were some weird raspy noises instead of the waiting beep. It was dark already? We both were bewildered since I was quite sure that we had only been here for an hour. Unable to reach Calvin, we decided to go look for him. So we knocked on the door of the opposite house. No one responded. Molly tried turning the knob, and the door cracked open. Everything inside was exactly like house number 13. Even the little decorations like the vase on the table, the picture on the wall. It was all the same as in the pictures that Molly took. This is so strange, I said. Molly suggested we look at other houses, and after seeing some, I realized there was just us in this dreamland, and all these houses were copies of that house number 13. With no other choice, we decided to get back to house number 13. I thought I was going to have a hearty meal, but that was before Molly discovered that all the food in the fridge was fake.
Gosh.
Molly closed the fridge wearily. We looked at each other. There was nothing else we could do but go to sleep. Soon the next morning came. We both looked listless. We had to leave, but we tried everything, took turns driving, and then turned onto another road. But our car still stopped right in front of house number 13, surrounded by identical houses. At this point, we started to feel scared and confused about where we were right now. This place was even worse than hell. We drove for the whole day until the car ran out of gas. Molly got out, sat on the porch, and didn't say a word. We were too tired to quarrel.
Look at those strange clouds.
Molly suddenly pointed to the sky. Maybe the clouds were fake too? That's right! I suddenly remembered one thing. The land here was fake, so if we dug a tunnel, we would probably find a way out. So I dug, and dug. The ground where I was standing gradually became a hole, but there was nothing more. Hunger and fatigue made us gradually lose control.
It's all your fault.
All mine? You were the one who told me to come to see it. I also got mad. Molly rushed toward me. I pushed her away, unexpectedly causing her to slip and fall into the hole.
Oh.
No! I panicked to see my wife lying in a pool of blood. What did I just do? Molly, I'm so sorry. That was it. I gradually lost all my hope and strength. Our lives would end in this devilish dreamland.
Roll in the hole with her.
It was Calvin. He was moving towards the hole. The next second, he climbed up and threw a bag down beside me. No! I resisted, but was pulled into the bag by him. The moment I witnessed Calvin's devilish smile, I understood that his plan here all along was designed to mentally torture us and make us suffer and exhaust us to death. And the hole Molly and I put all the efforts to make was nothing but a perfect grave for ourselves. But what was the point to realize this when it was too late now?
Babe.
Molly's call woke me up. I wasn't dead. I slapped myself in the face. I could feel the pain on my cheek. So I was not dead yet.
Vivarium?
It was all just a dream. I felt so relieved.
We're here.
Molly proudly said. Our car slowly pulled into dreamland, and Calvin was waiting, smiling in front of number 13.
Y'all gotta watch the movie. It says it's on Netflix.
To any kid in my neighborhood, the ice cream truck was like a miracle. Whenever the music would sound and the ice cream truck would appear in town, children would come out and wait to buy ice cream. But some of those trucks might have had inside some horror sequence. Home Depot was one of my favorite places to buy furniture. And even after moving to the new place, where it took more than 30 minutes driving to get to the nearest store, I was still Home Depot's loyal customer. It was just another Friday. I went to Home Depot for some home decorations. Since Halloween was coming soon, they started to decorate the store with a lot of lovely black and orange items. I just tried to get what I needed before the store closed. Looking at the long shopping list, I knew I had to hurry up. There was barely anyone but me in the store, maybe because it was kind of late at night. When I approached the counter, the clerk didn't even bother to look up at me. He just sat there yawning.
Don't be disrespectful, boy.
So quiet here, I told myself. While I was walking alongside the aisle, suddenly someone's head emerged from the shelf. It was a man, and he was staring at me. Is there anything I can help you with? I asked him, and he started to stand up. Oh my God! In front of me was a giant and weird-looking man. He must have been over 6 feet tall. His face was twisted into a creepy shape. I wondered whatever or whoever did that to him. He walked slowly toward me and gave me a big, wide grin that revealed yellow, sharp teeth.
Hi.
His voice was strangely coarse.
May I borrow some money?
He asked.
What the fuck are you talking about?
What? That question confused me.
Can you borrow
May
some money?
I borrow some money?
He repeated his request. Sorry, but no, I said and left. But then I realized that he followed me with that weird, abominable smile. That smile made his face look even more scary.
Give me your money.
He suddenly jumped in front of me. I was so annoyed that I ignored him.
He's gonna have to whoop his ass.
He wasn't discouraged by my attitude.
May I?
Sorry, but I can't lend you my money. So stop following me, please. I kicked him in the leg and then pushed the cart away. I turned to look at the man and saw that he was still lurking behind the stalls. The eyes on his bald head were staring at me from behind. I decided to get out of there, though the list wasn't fulfilled yet. After putting stuff in the trunk, I remembered the wrench I bought but hadn't collected from the counter, so I rushed back to the store. I needed to hurry or they would close it soon. Your wrench is on the table, please help yourself, said the employee, who was busy returning many items to the shelves. But when I got to the table, nothing was there, so I went to find the staff to ask about it. Jeez, I almost shouted. That man was still in the store.
Give me some money.
He raised up a wrench. That was the thing I left at the store. Hey, this one is mine. I grabbed it angrily, but alas, I didn't expect he was so strong. He had the wrench so tightly gripped, I couldn't do anything.
Be careful when you let it go and snap it.
Never, you freak! I shouted.
Give me the money!
The tone of his voice changed. His rotten mouth opened, which made me want to throw up. Then he grabbed my collar and lifted me up, as easily as picking up a feather. He opened his mouth wide. Oh my God! Was he going to eat me? I panicked and struggled, but couldn't do anything. He yelled and threw me away. My body landed on the floor, and I thought I had broken a bone or two. That monster was slowly moving towards me, but now I was in too much pain to run, only weakly backing up.
picked you up with 2 hands and threw
somebody
you.
help me! Help me! Help me! I cried, hoping the store clerk would hear. The man slowly walked over. Please let me go! I sobbed.
Give me your money,
he said. Yes, I'm giving you... I shakingly took out $1 in cash. The strange man approached me, slowly taking the bill from my hand. Then he leaned close to me and said,
May I borrow your arm?
Whoa, yeah.
Sir, do you need any help? Thank God, the clerk finally arrived. Help me! I was about to show him the creepy man when I realized he just disappeared as suddenly as he turned up. So there was only me screaming along the aisles.
Screaming
the staff must be thinking I was crazy, but he still helped me sit up properly. I was still in shock from the bizarre situation. Everything was like a strange dream, but the pain from the fall let me know that I wasn't dreaming.
Hey, who knows?
A few months had passed since the incident, and I never returned to Home Depot again because I was afraid of that strange man. I still vividly remember his last words.
May I borrow your arm?
Take your arm off your body. That's crazy. He asked for $1. You gave him $1, and then he wants your arm. Mr. Beast?
There's a Mr. Beast Burger restaurant opening nearby? No way! I was so excited when I read the Facebook announcement from my all-time favorite chain store. As a big Mr. Beast fan, I couldn't miss the important opening day. Yes, just a few more days and I would be eating Mr. Beast's cake and meeting Mr. Beast in real life right in my neighborhood. I was so excited that I couldn't sleep at night.
What the hell, Alex? It's 3 a.m. Get your ass to bed.
Ethan grumbled. He could never understand the importance of this grand opening event. Oh no! I woke up to discover I had overslept and missed the grand opening. Damn it!
Relax, it's just a goddamn event out of nowhere.
Ethan sneered.
You
know nothing. Just get out of my way. I screamed and rushed out of the house. Looking at the long line in front of me, I lost my patience. What if they ran out of food before it was my turn?
Oh my God, is that Mr. Beast?
Someone shouted out. It was him, Mr. Beast. He was standing at the cashier. Mr. Beast! I shouted while using all my strength to weave through the crowd. I had to meet Mr. Beast. Oh, Mr. Beast, I'm your biggest fan. I tried to get his attention. His presence caused chaos among the crowd.
All right, everyone. Thank you guys so much for supporting Mr. Beast Burger. I love all of you. Please follow the line and be patient, all right? Goodbye.
He smiled, which made all of us go wild. I swear Mr. Beast was looking at me then. He was so handsome and kind.
Guess the food ain't that
good, someone said behind my back. How dare he? I angrily turned around and grabbed his collar. Mr. Beast's food is the best! Best! I yelled at him. What? Mr. Beast's food is the best! I guess my attitude scared him. There were whispers all around.
Gosh, what's wrong with him? Someone call 911.
But that guy was tougher than I thought. He challenged me. Really? Then prove it! I angrily went straight to the counter and looked at the menu. I'll buy everything you've got left in here, I said to the waiter.
What?
Everyone was surprised. So I emptied my pockets and gave them all the money I had.
That's
He's crazy.
How could he eat that much? Never mind. Just get out of here.
How you gonna
You're
buy out the
insane,
food?
Alex. Ethan got mad when I brought home dozens of cartons. I'm not crazy. Mr. Beast's food is the best. After scolding me,
Boy.
Ian left.
Just don't care about them. You deserve all of these.
Yes,
Like,
Mr.
come
Beast was
on.
right. I deserved it. So this amount
about
of
to
food
die.
would be enough for me for a few days. Oh my gosh, this grilled cheese, the best I'd ever eaten.
Is it
That's
though?
right. That is one of the must-tries in our restaurant.
Mr. Beast appeared again to cheer me on. 1, 2, 10. Didn't even know how many burgers I'd eaten. I got so full I couldn't cram in anymore. Jeez, you want to choke to death, bro?
He does.
Ethan looked at me with scornful eyes. Well, you'll never know, I replied. Ugh, yuck. Ethan grimaced and left. So for 3 days in a row, I didn't eat anything but burgers. Ethan was so done with me, so he chose to ignore me and the mountain of paper boxes I threw out. Yeah, so good. I
Boy.
spent most of the time at the table finishing the burgers. The food started to smell weird and had mold on it.
And you
The
still
cheese
eating?
was moldy green and white. God damn it, Alex! Ethan couldn't take it anymore. Dude, you are a psycho. You know that? These things have mold on them. He yelled at my face. But what else could I do? These were the burgers from Mr. Beast's. How could I waste them? So I just pretended not to hear Ethan's words and kept shoving burgers down my throat. Despite the strange smell and weird taste, I still tried to eat them all.
Boy.
That needs to stop! Ethan rushed to grab the burger in my
Ethan,
hand.
get your ass out of there!
No! I angrily hit the table. Alex, you need some treatment. Ethan stepped back warily. No one could ever take Mr. Beast's food away from me. I was about to rush him when suddenly I felt a sharp pain in my stomach.
Sure, you
Alex,
big ass about to
are you
die.
okay?
Ethan, just make sure you don't
Ethan
fall on you
asked
or
and
throw up
stepped
on
forward.
you, bro.
Yeah, I replied. You don't look okay. Ethan denied me. My stomach hurt so much, my head dizzied, and my eyes couldn't see things
Dead.
well. What happened to me? I didn't feel well at all.
You're
Then
dying.
I fell to the ground. Alex! Alex! Ethan rushed over in a panic, and then I knew nothing more.
Because he's dead. You're gonna have to pump freaking
The doctor said that I was
burgers
poisoned
from
by
your fucking
rotten
stomach.
food. I was so lucky to be treated in time, so there was no more danger. Ethan blamed me for buying too much food and eating without caring for my body. Anyways, after getting better, I still wanted to go to Mr. Beast Burger and eat my favorite grilled cheese.
Lock his ass in this thing in asylum. I think we've seen this one.
Have you ever heard about the story of Pinocchio? The wooden guy whose nose won't stop growing? Well, that sounded cute. But the situation with my tongue was nothing near that cuteness. It was more like an endless nightmare. It was Halloween night. After the party, my friend Stacy and I decided to call it a day and left for home. On the way home, I saw someone dressed as a witch, and I thought I knew her.
Trick or treat?
I stopped her, and then realized she was Mona, a genuine world-class nerd in my class. I hated her showing off manners in class, so I pushed her down.
Look at a 17-year-old dressed in a rag on the street.
Beside my hospital bed was a bouquet of flowers with a card that read, Remember this lesson forever, Mona.
Ever.
Since then, I just quit my career as a bully at school
As you
and
should.
tried to become a better person.
Okay, y'all, this is going to be the last one, and then we'll find a better video next week.
Since I was a little boy, I've always been frightened of jack-o'-lanterns. Those carved pumpkins always gave me chills, and sometimes they appeared in my worst nightmares. Whenever I saw them, I could feel them alive and even hurt me. Don't get me wrong, I love Halloween. This year, we moved into a new house, and I was super excited to spend my first Halloween in a new place. The streets were filled with decorations. Everyone was looking forward to a happy holiday. When the evening came, I excitedly put on my costume and prepared to go out for trick-or-treat. When Mom was about to give me a whole speech about safety at night, I just said that I would be okay and then fled through the door.
Look. A grown-up playing trick or treat? It's so weird.
How old are you?
I heard the children whispering behind my back, and those words hurt my feelings a lot. I loved wearing Halloween costumes and trick-or-treating, but did they mean I couldn't do those things just because I was an adult? Boo.
Hell no.
I was frightened to death, so much so that I fell to the ground. The pumpkin made me sweat profusely ever since. I couldn't breathe. That pumpkin monster was still standing there, his clothes ragged, his eyes horribly bright, his mouth rattling with a ghastly wheeze. Happy Halloween. Its hand reached towards me.
For what?
No. Stay away from me. Stay away from me. I screamed while my heart was about to burst. He burst into laughter. I got dizzy. All around me were thousands of pumpkins with bright eyes and sharp teeth. They came up right next to me, their mouths widening more and more terrifying. Help me. They're about to take me. I screamed.
Jeez, what's wrong with him?
Freak!
What a weirdo!
You're sick! You should stay at home!
After a
just
while,
speaking.
when
Let him
everything
speak
got
outside.
quiet, I opened my eyes. The monsters had disappeared, but my fear was still there and my body was shaking.
Got no
I
right to tell
didn't
nobody
want to
they
trick or
can't
treat.
speak outside.
I didn't want to be here anymore. But the
Go.
way home looked scarier than before, especially those creepy pumpkins. I could feel their eyes on me. To avoid those scary glares, I decided to take a different path. This road was so strange. It didn't look like my way home at all. I felt a
not.
chill down my spine. Something in my mind urged me to go home quickly. My God, after a while, I came across pumpkin lights hanging on both sides of the road.
Yeah.
I didn't dare to look around and just kept walking. But the faces of those lanterns looked so real. They could kidnap me any time. Suddenly, I heard some strange noise, like a growl. Something seemed to wake up. I could hear it, the sound of death and the earth being plowed.
Jimmy.
A
Your name
hoarse
Jimmy?
voice was calling. That was my name. My heart suddenly skipped a beat. The monster was calling my name.
Annie
What should I
Kaplan.
do? A cold hand touched my shoulder. That was it. The pumpkin monster was right behind me. In an instant, my whole body froze. I was unable to move because my limbs were shaking so hard. I could feel its mouth opening and the steam coming from it covering my head. Did it want to eat me alive? My legs froze. I couldn't breathe normally anymore.
Ian.
Just thinking about that monster right behind me made me shiver and want to vomit. Then it let go of my shoulder. That was my chance to escape. I mustered all my courage and strength to run away.
You don't even know where you're going.
That pumpkin monster was laughing hysterically as it chased after me. What should I do? What if it caught me? I ran like hell, but the monster was faster than me and quickly caught my feet. I was so scared that my whole body was shaking. The pumpkin monster slowly walked toward me. Jimmy! The way he called my name made me panic even more. At this point, I could only cry when that disgusting mouth opened. The next second, I almost froze.
Like, where is your house at?
A throbbing pain made me scream.
He bit you?
That monster was grabbing my leg. My legs were gone. I was in so much pain that I couldn't cry. That's it. My life would be ended by this scary monster, I thought before passing out.
You better be found with both your legs, because I promised you.
I found myself waking up in a white room surrounded by 4 strange walls. There were 2 nurses holding my limbs. Please save me. That monster ate my leg. It wants to eat me. I screamed. Look, Jimmy. There are no monsters, just your imagination.
Okay.
The doctor
So you got
said.
both his legs?
Only then did I look down at my feet.
Okay.
My legs were still there.
Okay, maybe that man was right. Maybe that man was right. You need to tweak inside your house. You don't need to tweak outside. I'm like, should I just finish this or... Yeah, because...
No, but lick it. Oh, you foul. Put it back. Put it back. Put it back. Put it back. Oh,
The woman in this video licked ice cream in the box, then put it back in the freezer. She clearly performed a disgusting action, but showed no regrets about it.
None.
This story was loosely based on that event. Pranks are fun only when we're not the victims, but this time it wasn't at all. I was so stupid when doing this prank, and now I have to live with the guilt and regret for the rest of my life. The weekend had come with a great vibe. It had been quite a long time since I visited my grandmother. How enjoyable it was to stay with her. She gave me nice gifts, took me to Walmart, and bought me all sorts of snacks. In this sweltering Texas heat, there was nothing better than to enjoy a cool, sweet ice cream. While she was going to buy fruit, I immediately ran to the ice cream bars. Lick it! Lick it! Great! Isn't it yummy? Sure! The cheering caught my attention. I got there and saw a couple taking out a box of ice cream from the fridge. But they didn't wait to pay for it. They just opened up the box and, oh no! The girl opened the box and licked the ice cream inside?
Yuck!
I couldn't help but feel disgusted. I mean, were these people crazy?
That's how.
After licking the ice cream, she closed the lid and put it in the cart.
What the?
That was when I noticed that they were filming a video or something, and it seemed like they were having fun.
Are they doing some TikTok trend?
Maybe just some anonymous people trying to get famous.
Well...
I had to admit that some part of me wished I was famous too, so that everyone would admire me. God, they occupied the aisle for more than 10 minutes. They also took a video and giggled, and there were already 3 or 4 boxes of ice cream in their cart. I didn't want to wait anymore, so I went to another aisle.
Hold on,
The girl said. Little did I know, she was planning on an even more disgusting prank. Lick it. That's right, lick it all around. Okay, put it back. Put it back. While the guy holding the phone cheered, the girl with curly hair opened the box of ice cream. She stuck out her big tongue and licked the surface of the ice cream box. Her mouth gaped open. Her sticky tongue traced a path across the pure white surface of the ice cream, then laughed and closed the lid. Then she put all of the ice cream boxes she opened back in the fridge and smirked at the phone screen.
Ew!
I almost threw up at her disgusting behavior. I mean, how could a normal person do such a thing? But I didn't dare speak up, so I only told myself to never eat ice cream again.
Whatever. I don't want to eat someone's saliva.
I quickly went to my granny to go home with her.
No way, not your granny bought some? You ain't tell your granny not to buy none?
What surprised me was, the next morning, when I went online, I ran across that video. Unbelievably, that ice cream sneaking girl got on top trending. Videos of her licking ice cream filled my news feed. Wow. Many people did the hashtag Tin Roof Challenge, and all went viral with millions of views.
I want to be like them.
I
Girl,
thought
no,
to
you
myself,
don't.
I wanted to be famous like them too. And what I had to do for that seemed easy. Disgusting still, but easy to get popular. So I immediately ran to Walmart and rushed into the snack area.
Girl,
But
for
what
like,
if I licked a box of ice cream someone else licked? So I changed my plan. Holding the phone with the recording mode turned on, I opened the cabinet to take out the ice cream box.
Hey, check this out.
I excitedly spit a big puddle into the ice cream box.
Not just that.
I used my hand and rubbed the surface of the ice cream evenly. Yes, that would make me go viral too.
Hey, look at me.
I looked at my phone with a smile on my face.
Tin Roof Challenge. Check.
After having done that, I went home and went straight to my room. Before uploading that blockbuster, I checked through Twitter and saw an announcement from Walmart that they would send someone to guard the ice cream cabinet. They knew about the trend and thought that people should stop doing that. The girl who started that movement was identified by the police, but didn't have to go to court because she was only 17 years old. She and her accomplice boyfriend would face $10,000 in damages and 20 years in prison.
How could it be?
I couldn't help but panic when I heard this news. Fortunately, I haven't posted a video of this challenge yet.
Oh, lucky me.
I deleted the video right away.
but
Hey, sweetie. Want some ice cream?
Grandma came into my room and gave me a bowl of ice cream. I wasn't in a good mood at this time, so I needed something cool to relieve the stress.
Thanks, Granny. Oh, wow. I love this flavor. Where did you buy it?
It's at
Walmart.
Walmart as always. Silly.
She said.
What?
The memory of the ice cream licking incident came back into my mind and made me throw up the whole thing. That prank was worse than I expected. The ice cream box my grandmother ate was the one someone licked already. There was a germ in the person's saliva, and it was passed on to my grandmother while she was old and had some pre-existing medical conditions. The pathogen made her illness worse, and my grandmother didn't pass. That was all about that stupid prank. This is the worst challenge I have ever done. The most disgusting prank
Because you
of
hoes
my
are
life.
nasty. You hoes are nasty. And then what you hoes don't know is that a couple of them people were doing that trend and actually buying the ice cream. Like, so when they got caught up and got cussed out, they're like, what are you talking about? Why would we leave it there? We bought it. Because some of you nasty hoes really tried to leave it there. Like, not everybody bought the ice cream. And that's just a nasty, like, why would you want to portray yourself as such a nasty bastard. Like, you don't think that's disgusting? You want people to think that you're disgusting, that you lick shit and put it back for other people to grab? Make me damn sick.
The story I am about to tell you happened a few years ago, but every time I think about it, it just sends shivers down my spine.
We did.
After my 17th birthday, I got my first job at Dairy Queen, and I chose to work the evening shift to better fit my schedule. That day, I was about to change clothes when a customer walked in. "Yeah, I want a coffee-flavored upside-down blizzard, please."
That sounds real good.
The police took the DNA of the abductor left in my fingernails for testing. After that horrible night, I quit my job at Dairy Queen and no longer dared to go out alone. Sometimes, when I pass a Dairy Queen store, So last night was Halloween, and also my looting festival, since I got a lot of candy from my younger brother. But what came after the sweet dinner was the most horrible experience with the dentist in my life.
Girl.
I had a sweet tooth that would always be ready for candy. As soon as my brother came back from his trick-or-treat outing, I immediately patted him down for candy.
You kids shouldn't have too many sweets.
I snatched his pumpkin candy basket and gave him back a lollipop. Then, sitting on the sofa,
Wow, there's also M&Ms.
I enjoyed the candy while watching TV. This year, my brother got more candy than usual, and as I binge-ate it, my tongue started to feel sore.
Hey, aren't you afraid of tooth decay? The dentist will come knocking on your room's door,
my brother said.
I'm an adult, not like you. Damn, out of candy? That's all you got?
I saw the empty candy basket. On the ground were a lot of candy wrappers piled up.
Yikes!
No more candy. I needed to take a quick nap. So I took the last candy and lay down on the sofa. But I had just stuffed my face with a ton of sugar before, plus my tongue ached so bad, and there was something lumpy and unpleasant wiggling in my mouth. Whatever that was, I jumped up trying to spit it out.
Oh my God!
My heart beat faster when I realized it was a half-swollen candy and a squirming maggot as a bonus offer. I ran to the bathroom and rushed to the mirror.
Oh my God!
I was panic-stricken to see my gums covered in blood. Fortunately, there were no other maggots.
A maggot, girl?
I hurriedly tried to blot my gums with paper to stop the bleeding. That would make it better, I thought, and got back to my room. My swollen tongue and the excess of sugar in my stomach kept me awake most of the night, though I did fall asleep at some point. The next morning, I was awakened by a strange feeling. There was something hard in my mouth.
I hate maggot
I put my hand in to pick around and saw something so terrible. It was a decayed tooth. It looked so hideous, black and almost crumbling. I smelled it.
Oh, why would you do that,
so
you
bad,
nasty
like
bitch?
rotten eggs. Now, I think it's time to be clear. If candy were my passion, the toothbrush would be the enemy. I would barely brush my teeth if my mom and dad didn't tell me to. But when I saw this tooth fall out,
what do you mean? You would barely brush your
even
teeth?
More terrifying. The dentist, Dr. Creepy. Couldn't let my parents find out about this. That would only make things worse. So I decided to see Dr. Creepy alone. While in the waiting line, I was restless. The noise coming from the clinic room and the medical smells made my head feel dizzy, and I was scared. Then they called my name. I was startled and hesitated for a moment. But then a nurse came up to me and said,
It's your turn.
Then she dragged me into the clinic room. In the room, I saw Dr. Creepy waiting for me.
Girl.
He looked terrified, his eyes bloodshot,
Cause your
his
teeth
mouth
is nasty.
grinning
All you
with
had to do was
strangely
just...
white teeth. He also held a drill in his hand
All
and
you had
kept
to do was
pressing
just
it.
brush your fucking mouth and you ain't had
Lie
to go up
down.
in there.
He said in a serious tone. I obeyed him and reluctantly lay down on the chair. He shoved a mouth spreader into my mouth. Well, let's see what we have here. Dr. Creepy adjusted the lamp. Looks like we have a tipsy-bitsy mouth needing to be fixed here. He said, like some terrifying amusement
That's
clowns
so
in a
crazy
movie.
Because once the tooth
He
starts
held up the
rotting,
needle and
it
said,
starts stinking.
Anesthesia!
I closed my eyes in panic when I saw that sharp pixie needle. My
Girl,
body was shaking,
your
but I
breath
couldn't
smell
do
like
anything.
ass. You
I
got
felt
bigger
so
things to worry
helpless.
about. I promise you.
Then he used a pair of tweezers, put them into my mouth, and pulled out a fat white maggot. It wiggled non-stop. Then, without hesitation, he put the maggot
No, he
right into his
didn't.
mouth and chewed on the tip. That made me almost vomit. I tried to get up and run away, but I couldn't. My hands were tied to the chair. I lay there helplessly and let Dr. Creepy pick out all the maggots from my mouth.
I don't
Lie
need this.
still. We're at an important step.
I don't need this.
Dr. Creepy said and raised a drill whose sound made me feel so unsettled. My heart beat faster and my tears started to flow. I wanted to close my mouth, but that device wouldn't allow me. I just kept
Girl, you need to
struggling
just
on
throw
the
your mouth
chair for
away.
so long before
Like, just
losing
throw that shit
consciousness.
away. You don't need it.
I was woken up by the dentist.
Hey, wake up. It's all done.
I sat up and realized it was just a dream. Dr. Creepy said that some of my teeth were decayed and had to be extracted and replaced with a few dentures. I thanked him and quickly exited the room. It was just a dream. Yeah, a very realistic dream that I would never ever get out of my mind.
I don't need that. Don't need that. I love the dentist. Like, I really do. I fuck with the dentist.
Have you
heavy.
ever thought that you might be in danger when going to the cinema? If you haven't, let me tell you my story. The story of my scariest experience at the movie theater, and a memory that I will never forget for the rest of my life. That day, I excitedly went to the movie theater. It was quite crowded there, but I still made it to stand in line and wait for the tickets. The line after me was really long, but I did notice a strange man. He was wearing an overcoat over a tank top and shorts. With his hand hidden in the coat, he kept
You got a
glaring
gun?
around with an oddly cold
Why do
gaze
everybody
like
look
he was
creepy
looking
in
for
that
his
lineup?
enemies. After getting the ticket, with some popcorn and a soft drink, I sat in the hall, waiting for the movie time. The strange man also got his ticket and sat down in the waiting hall. Honestly, he looked a bit creepy. I meant, he looked kind of like a pervert you would see on the news. I was startled. His eyes were so cold and scary. Was he going to eat me alive or something?
Girl, stop looking
It
in that
was
man's
time
face.
for the movie to
Leave him
start.
alone.
I quickly ran into the theater,
Keep you alive.
but that
Leave
man
alone.
didn't move.
Strange. Then why did he pay for that ticket?
I wondered. Anyways, I didn't care about that. All I wanted was to get my seat and enjoy the movie. I wasn't sure if it came from the movie, but I did hear someone screaming. It was very much different from what I was watching on the screen. I noticed that the people around me could hear it too. They started to talk about it. A few minutes later, the
that damn
screams
man.
outside got louder and louder. I didn't think
He out
that
there
was a
killing
theater
folk.
sound effect. An audience member screamed, And that was when the whole theater went into chaos. No one knew what was going on.
Run! There's a crazy man killing people!
An employee screamed out. Everything turned into a mess. Everyone was panicking.
Wow.
Fear on each other's faces, and some even burst into tears. I was so scared.
You better move.
Everyone around me was screaming and crying.
Y'all was just told a nigga out there killing people. Y'all just stay y'all ass
faster
down.
and faster. The killer was out there, and he could show up here at any moment. People got out of control. They climbed over the chairs or did anything they could do to get out. They even trampled over each other to escape. In such a chaotic circumstance, I just followed the crowd to leave the cinema room. I was struggling to finally make it through the emergency exit. I staggered down the hallway. Everything was strangely quiet, my heart still pounding wildly in my chest. I was really scared and panicking, trying to remember how to handle a situation like this. I needed to hide somewhere and call the police. So I quickly snuck into the toilet and bolted the door.
Oh, damn it!
I trembled and even dropped my phone before I could dial. It took me a lot of time to do it.
Just
keep
it together.
I told myself, but my hands kept shaking. Tears welled up in my eyes. I just wanted to watch a movie in peace. I never thought I would become the main character in an action movie. My mind froze as I was falling into desperation. My mom texted me. The news was broadcasting about what was happening here.
The attack in a local movie theater is becoming the focus of public opinion. The estimated number of casualties is told to reach dozens of people. The police have quickly sealed off the scene.
I watched the news while crying. The police were here, but would they find me? I wiped my tears and decided to take a risk. So I left the toilet, trying to walk cautiously
Why would you leave the
so
toilet?
as not to be spotted by the killer. I continued to silently walk along the empty hallway. Hey, where are you going? I was startled. At the end of the corridor, I saw that creepy man in the coat. He was still wearing the same overcoat with his hand hiding. However, at this moment, his eyes were bloodshot, and there was blood on his coat and his face. I realized that it was not his own blood. Discovering the horrifying truth, I stepped back in fear. My whole body froze. My mind went blank, and I didn't know what to do. The killer didn't seem to know that the police had surrounded the place, so he remained very calm. He took a step forward, and I took a step back. I felt my breath choke as my heart pounded furiously. My limbs wobbled, causing me to fall to the ground. The man came closer
your leg just wobbled.
and closer,
Don't piss me off.
his hand under the overcoat moving slightly. Would I
is that a
die
knife or a
here
gun?
in this place? At the moment when I thought I was going to die, suddenly I heard footsteps from the distance.
Police, put down your weapon.
The officers saved my life.
Hey, good. Their job.
The main suspect in the movie theater attack has been arrested for the crimes he has committed. He will receive the appropriate punishment.
I survived the massacre at the movie theater, but the obsession was so haunting that I didn't dare to step into any movie theater ever again.
I would have never. He ain't never getting no movie theater out of me.
Have you ever stalked someone? Or have you been a victim of a stalker? In this story, I am both the stalker and the prey of a dangerous criminal. It all started when a new neighbor named Bob moved into a house next to mine. He was handsome and hot. Long time.
Because look at this shit here.
This man appeared in front of a girl's house. He used a knife and tried to open the door. What will happen next? That footage inspired the following story, which serves as an alert warning to girls living alone. You should be careful because one day, perverts can appear and be your guest at any time. The story started after Alice broke up with her boyfriend and started living alone. One night in the evening, I suddenly received a call from her. She was now sobbing.
Taylor, he really left me.
Oh, Alice, it's okay. I'll be right there with you.
I comforted her and got in the car. I could tell from Alice's voice that she was really devastated about the breakup thing. Alice and Charles had been together for over 2 years, and a dozen times she told me that they were really broken up. I just waited until they got back together about 1 to 2 weeks later. But this time it was different. I lived quite far from Alice's house, about 30 minutes by car. On my way there, I received a phone call from Alice.
Hey, are you on the way yet? Can you stop by 7-Eleven for more whiskey? I need more alcohol. What? How much have you been drinking?
Don't ask too much. Just get it.
And then she hung up the phone, and there was no way I'd buy her more whiskey. About 10 minutes later, I got another call from her.
Taylor, don't come here. Don't!
Her shaking whisper scared me.
What happened?
But she hung up the phone before I could finish my question. I drove faster to get to her. Finally, I was on her porch. I rang the doorbell and called Alice, but she didn't open the door, nor did she pick up the phone. I tried opening the door, and to my surprise, it was not locked, so I went inside the house. The living room was a mess, with a lot of furniture broken on the floor. Everything was uncomfortably quiet. I nervously called out,
Alice, where are you?
No one answered.
Alice!
And then there was a voice saying,
I'm upstairs. Come up here.
I breathed a sigh of relief. That was Alice, so I rushed to her room. Now I was standing in her room. Before my eyes was a horrible scene that I would never forget. Alice was there, but she was lying on the ground in a pool of blood. The skin on her face had been peeled off, leaving red flesh on her face. Terrified by the horrifying scene, I shivered. Who did this? And who answered me earlier? I knew I was in danger in this house. I wanted to get close to Alice, but I was afraid that the one mimicking her voice might come out and give me the same ending as my friend. I slowly stepped back. The only word now in my head was run, which was the only thing I could do. I turned around and tried to run as fast as I could. While escaping, I could hear his footsteps echoing behind me. He was chasing me.
Don't run, Taylor. Wait for me.
I was startled when I heard Alice's voice again, but behind me was a guy with a small body. He was wearing Alice's face skin with blood and hair on it. He was staring at me. In his hand was a long, sharp knife, still stained with Alice's fresh blood. He was the one who imitated Alice's voice. In this situation, I was too numb to think of an escape plan, so then I turned to run. Fortunately, when he was close to chasing me, I was able to get out the door and get into the car. He reached my car while I was trying to start the engine. He swung the knife and repeatedly hit the windshield. But fortunately, I backed up in time and drove away. Looking in the rearview mirror, I could see him still standing in Alice's yard, staring after my car. I immediately picked up the phone and called 911. The police rushed to the scene, but the murderer had escaped. So they found the camera footage at Alice's home and tried to figure out how he approached Alice and murdered her. According to the camera, that man went to Alice's door and rang the bell incessantly. Alice went to the door, but she didn't open it immediately and asked who he was first. Now he used his voice-imitating talent to pretend to be Alice's ex-boyfriend.
You know, lying.
I'm your little Daisy. Please open the door for me.
Alice, who was already too drunk to think, opened the door for him. As soon as she opened it, she rushed to hug him thinking it was her boyfriend. Only when he let out a savage laugh did Alice realize that he was a murderer. So then she was forced to do something in the house. She staggered and ran around while he gloated madly and slowly approached her. He knew for sure that no one could save Alice at that time. That sick man was scary. Alice tried to run away from him. She found a place to hide and called me after that. That was the short warning call. But it was not difficult for the killer to find out and murder her. He then skinned her face and put it on his. According to the police, this was the first case to happen here, and the murderer seemed to have been following Alice for a long time. The murderer was still wanted, and I know I was also in danger. I would have to move to a safer place. Not until he was arrested could I sleep peacefully in my own house.
I hate when stuff is going on and people just be like getting away. Like, how would you talk about? I have to find him. Like, the nigga was already here.
Halloween was coming, and as a horror movie fan, since it was now September, I was starting to get excited. I decided to drop by the flea market, where they sold the strangest and creepiest stuff. But it was already 10 p.m., and most of the flea markets were closed. There was only one that was open until midnight. After about an hour of driving, I finally arrived there.
Wow, they're already preparing for Halloween.
I felt like it was a masquerade party. I wandered around the stalls looking for some badass decorations. Old pumpkin lights, faded rugs, fake tombstones. Well, I'd been searching for a while, but hadn't found anything impressive yet.
Hello, how can I help you? This one's for you.
A shopkeeper in a Chucky costume cheerfully gave me a coupon.
Oh, thanks.
I said with a smile.
What's the coupon for?
I'm just looking for decorations.
He led me into the stall. I'd never seen such a bizarre place before. The decorative items here were all fake human body parts.
This is good stuff. I picked them up from a drunkard.
Those items made my stomach turn.
Oh, okay.
But maybe people don't like them.
He said sadly. I laughed awkwardly while looking at the items. The shopkeeper followed me. It seemed that because I was the only visitor here, he kept following me around, trying to convince me to buy something.
Please buy something. Please.
She was gonna!
I'm begging you. Please?
He kept nagging.
Let me take a look at it.
God, he was so annoying. I just wanted to send him away. He wasn't very happy, but left for a while.
Have you found anything nice?
He suddenly appeared, making me almost jump out of my skin.
I haven't. No, actually.
And when he saw that I wasn't going to buy anything, he changed his expression immediately.
Why is no one willing to buy anything here?
Because of you.
Why?
You're the reason.
He started screaming like a kid getting mad for candy, and even started throwing things in the shop.
Why? Why?
Please, calm down.
It seemed that he didn't listen to me. He kept shouting like that, causing everyone outside to notice. He'd gone crazy. I was shocked and scared by this shopkeeper's actions. I was afraid that if I stayed any longer, he would do something really bad to me. So while he was still going crazy without noticing me, I quickly left the shop.
Why? Why? Why?
He was still screaming behind.
Jeez, that was odd.
Even though I was far away from that store, my heart was still pounding. There was only 15 minutes before the market closed, and my bag was still empty. I had to hurry up. I quickly noticed a jack-o'-lantern lamp in the stall that was about to close. This was fair enough. So I grabbed the lamp, paid for it, and then went into the parking lot. Along the way there, I had a feeling that someone was following me. Turning around, I recognized the Chucky clothes and hair.
Gosh, is he following me?
What did he want? Was he mad at me for not buying anything from his place? I swallowed hard and tried to stay calm. However, when I walked, he moved also. And when I ran, he immediately chased after me. What would I do? I kept holding the lamp and ran while the man chased right behind. Gosh, there was no one around. I tripped and fell to the ground, and he also stopped. He looked at me like he was looking at a prey in a trap.
Please.
All this because I ain't buy shit from your store, and I really ain't gonna buy shit from your store.
But he had no intention of letting me go. And then he pulled out a knife.
Why didn't you buy anything from me?
He slowly walked towards me,
Boy.
his voice full of resentment.
Of this
I was so
attitude right
scared
here.
now that I could only cry and beg. But he came closer and closer.
What an obnoxious customer.
His expression suddenly turned fierce, as if he was trying to eat me alive. And he raised his knife.
He stabbed you?
I scrambled to get up, but it was too late. The pain quickly spread. The wound was bleeding non-stop. Meanwhile, the man was slowly enjoying seeing me in pain. He looked like a sick psychopath.
I'll hang your head on the door, and someone will buy it for
No
sure.
one will buy shit from your store, boy. That's why you mad now.
He growled. That was when I realized that all the items in his store were actually made from real human body parts.
Hey, is something wrong over there?
Yes.
The voice of a passerby resounded as the man was about to swing his knife again. While he was distracted, I put all my strength into it and jumped up and tried to run. That was my car over there. I rushed over in pain.
Get in.
I drove away just in time before the man banged on the door again.
Good, because ain't nobody got no time.
I kept driving without daring to stop until I found the nearest police station. I was taken into the emergency room in time. The man had disappeared from the market and was never identified. But the horrifying memories he brought back that day will surely follow me for the rest of my life.
That's so rude. Every Halloween you gotta think about that bastard because he wanted to try to kill you. Like, all because you didn't want to buy that from his store. And now he can't even have a store. He shouldn't even have no store to begin with. He can't have no store to begin with. Crazy. Alright. I enjoyed that. I wasn't gonna do the full hour. Well, because I thought it was 2 hours. But, you know, when you've watched half of the damn videos, then you could just cut it in half. So, just like that, y'all was only supposed to get 1 hour. Was only supposed to get 30 minutes and you got an hour. So, I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know which one was your favorite because we definitely jumped around. Jumped around a lot in this one. But I feel like that last one was creepy. Oh, like damn, we skipped a lot. 3 that we watched at the beginning were good. That Home Depot was crazy. The Mr. Beast one was like, why are you eating all them damn freaking cheese? Like, you're eating grilled cheeses, like grilled cheese burgers, like, and you got mad of them, not thinking that they were going to mold. You didn't even put them in the refrigerator, you nasty bastard. So yeah, let me know which one was your favorite. I enjoyed it. I didn't mind. And until next time, I love y'all. Bye.